Hey man, welcome back to another vlog. And before the video starts, I just wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you guys. As of now, it's probably glare. We're at 1,750 subscribers, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. I'm hoping to bring on more content. I know I've been lagging on like weekly uploads, but every time I want to order something, it's either not in stock, back ordered, or it takes a while. Stuff gets delayed, and that's like why I can't upload weekly. But anyways, thank you to every single one of you guys. Appreciate y'all. Let's get on with the video, man. Oh man, I almost knocked that over. Look at all that, man. For my OG subscribers, you'll know I've done this before. It's not my first time.
Show them the shit, man.
Me, man.
I'm fucking excited.
But anyways, we've upgraded from SLR Super Arms to SLR Ultra Arms, and I'll explain why I'm doing this. Hopefully, huge shout out to SLR. You guys are awesome. I've been running nothing but SLR SLR on my car, and I've had nothing but reliability with the countless dirt drops, countless flick entries, just driving the car extremely hard. And I never had any issues with my front control arms. So on the control arm, I got new lollipop bushings, and the reason I got new lollipop bushings is because my old ones kind of took a beating with my the LS headers. They kind of got a little too hot, too crispy, so I opted out for the new bushings. This camera angle is terrible. I am sorry. Let's back you guys up a little bit. I'm gonna hit that in with the rubber mallet. I gave it a little bit of grease so it can blam, slide in like so. Wipe off the grease, the excess grease, so that's nice and flush. Now we're gonna put on, I have SLR lollipops, which you don't have to get them. I just got them because my OCD wanted to be uniform, and so a lot of people, they get the offset control arm bushings from like Condor or something like that, but I recommend if you're gonna get SLR stuff, just, I believe they're the same price too, almost, but these are adjustable. Grease is your best friend, so you don't destroy these. That's how it's supposed to go. Anyways, and I'm just doing light taps, nothing crazy. I'm gonna step it up on the glove taps. Wipe off the excess grease. And then, boom. I'm gonna leave it like this for now. And when I'm installing it on the car, I may have to push this in slightly or out to get the alignment that comes out of your subframe. There's like a bolt to get this alignment right, because the spacing from here to here is obviously like on a set point. And so once I put on these two bolts and I tighten them, I'm gonna try to line up this by bringing up the control arm. My hands are extremely dirty, wow. If the alignment's off, I'll hammer it a bit here to push this bushing in and get that alignment right. So let's do that. So it took a little bit of finessing. Once I had the control arm and I was kind of at this angle, I had the view on that bushing, and I can see if it needed to be hammered a little bit in, or if I needed to bring it back out, I would drop the control arm and literally just like pull it, and because of the grease, it made it easy to shift it on that rear lollipop bushing. And so now that it's in there, I'm gonna drop in the required hardware. Drop this in like that, put this in here. Now, I don't want to put it in all the way. As a matter of fact, I want to have it right at that point there, to where it hasn't left that top cylinder, the thicker part of that bolt, because I want to have it low enough to where I bend this down like that, and then with that I can put in this bolt in here. If you have this fully tightened all the way, and you're, in my case, like, you know, your full suspension's like still connected, it won't go in unless you have it a little loose like that. So now that that's loose, let's drop this guy in. Put this in. The bushing slope is wrong. There we go. So now that the bushing angle's right, it goes in. And then boom. That's how you can do it. Now I'm gonna bolt that up, tighten it over there. Once I tighten that, tighten all these, put in your tie rod, tighten it. That's to put in the control arm, man. Did I scratch it already? Oh no, it's probably grease from the mallet. I kind of did a terrible explanation on what I was doing here, but this is the best way I can explain it. The regular E36 inner tie rods, they were a little too short for the SLR Ultra arms that are, you know, wider than SLR Super arms. And so on the inner tie rod, I was only using half the threads available. And on this ball joint thing that I'm holding here, I was also using half the threads that were available. And it was causing this weak point that I wasn't too comfortable drifting on. And so I got the idea to use E90 tie rods, which are E90 inner tie rods, which are a lot longer. And in the next clip, you'll pretty much see how I made them work because they weren't direct plug and play.
The following day.
So I think we're on a day 2 with this. Just because I got the idea to use E90 tie rods because they're significantly longer. And I thought I was going to be, you know, kind of slick and using the extended tie rod to get more thread in so it's not as extended and it's not causing a weak point, but it doesn't work. Hey man, in the last clip I think I was talking about how the E90 tie rods that I got didn't really work. I made them work, and by the way, if you hear wind noise, I'm not sorry. All right, I just bought this cooler thing and it's super fresh, and it's gonna stay on while I'm recording because this garage gets really hot. Not about it. Anyways, the E90 tie rods, they didn't work. I was kind of bummed out about it. I put the car together, I drove it, it's cool, but I don't really like the fact that there's like threads sticking out on each side. And that especially is about halfway in. I wasn't really feeling it. So went over to the buddy's house. He was like, dude, I got you. He said, rethread, which if you can see the color difference, this used to look like that. So we rethreaded about 3/4, we cut off 3/4, and then boom, we're gonna have some tie rods that should work perfectly fine. I'm gonna use more thread on both the little heim joint part. Anyways, I'm gonna take out the regular E36 tie rods. I'm gonna use the E90 tie rods, and everyone's gonna be happy. And that was easy. Yay! You see the differences if we line these two up here. Well, this one's slightly longer. My goal is to have this almost all the way threaded in compared to just having half of this threaded in, which is great. Kind of want that going on. This looks beefier, looks stronger. We're going to be using more thread. We're not going to have a weak point in the suspension, which is the main reason I'm doing this. And also this guy, I want this threaded in more. So let's get everything swapped out and put back in. All right, got the tie rod on, folded the lip the best I could. I'm about to put this boot back on. I'm about to screw the nut in, screw the little purple thingy in. I'm gonna put it all back together and we should be good, man. Should be good. I'm gonna just fast forward to when this is all done, you know, do a little snapperoo thingy, and then power of editing is gonna be like, oh my god, he's finished, and let's do it. This thing's too good. Anyways, the steering wheel is perfectly aligned to the steering rack, perfectly centered. Now by that I mean open up this boot, measure from this flange over to here, and it's the exact same thing on this side, which for me it was 1 7/8 inches. So 1 7/8 inches, 1 7/8 inches. Once I did that, got the steering wheel, detached it, put it perfectly so that yellow strip is centered. Following me? So the steering rack's dead straight. Now with the steering wheel dead straight, I put on the wheels and I put in the tie rods, and this is exactly what I wanted. Mostly all the threads being used, tiny bit of playroom here, you know, all the playroom in the world for that. And then I have no pro alignment yet, but what I run is a 0.5 toe out up front. I'm hopefully that's what my eyeballs tell me. I don't know how I'm gonna align that on camera, but close enough. Same thing on this side. Try to align it the best I could. That's probably either 0 or like 0.2 in. I have no idea, but regardless, I'm using all the thread I possibly can. No weak points in my suspension, you know, less likely to break. If it does, that's fine. I came prepared for that too. Not only my warranty through O'Reilly's, but I ended up buying, out the way, replacement nunchucks, aka these thingies from SLR. So I have spares in case they break. Everything else over here, I doubt it'll go anytime soon, but I'm pretty much covered. I'm set, man. The car is on the ground. I've aligned it a whole lot better. That is now our front camber. We have the formula for success. We have the SLR Ultra arms. We have the E90 Tie Rods. We're using all the threads we possibly can. And now, the whole reason for this part 1 and part 2 series is fixing the positive camber at full lock. And let's see how it is now. Let's go turn on the car. Turn it on. Turn it to neutral. Nice. Okay, so I'm turning on the car because I want the power steering going, because I need the fluids so I can get my full turn radius, and we'll see our contact at full lock. Whoa, that is full lock. That's it, sitting neutral. And look at that, man. That is so much better. And I'm really glad I have my old setup, my old like wheels and tires here, because you can see that the tire has all the life in the world. But if you look at the sidewall, look at all this worn. It was like super worn out. I was literally turning out and the wheel would be on its sidewall like that. And that was my full contact patch up front, which it was bugging me for a really long time. I searched high and low on the internet, and here we go. So much better. And I want to say the main reason for the fix was the SLR Ultra arms. There we go, man. That is beautiful. It is so good. I can't wait to drive this car. We're gonna have a drift event very, very soon. And that is like my full lock. Power steering doesn't really like that, but that'll be my full lock. More than half the tire being used. And that is exactly what we were looking for. Ah, so good, so good. And that concludes the part 1, part 2 series on how to fix the positive camber on full lock and refreshing the front suspension. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope this helps you guys out. I know there's a couple peeps out there that had troubles with their SLR kit and having that positive camber, and this is your fix. Don't run super arms, run ultra arms. If you're gonna daily, maybe that's not the most ideal camber, but that's why you run SLR camber plates. Throw it all out, daily the car, and when you're gonna go to a track day, throw all the camber back in and have that nice contact at full lock. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.